Welcome back everyone. Today we're diving into the Cities of Sigmar Spearhead update from December 2024. How did the changes impact gameplay? Let's find out. The December 2024 Games Workshop Spearhead update was highly anticipated by fans of the format. This update introduced rule changes for several armies, with the armies in the Grand Alliance of Order receiving the most adjustments to their respective spearheads. In this brief video, I'll focus on Cities of Sigmar and specifically the Castelite Company Spearhead. The key change, the Officer's Order ability, was updated to be used once per battle round instead of the previous once per battle. While this isn't a game-changing buff, it makes the ability much more viable. The adjustment feels logical, offering players more flexibility and strategic depth without drastically increasing the Spearhead's overall power rating. And given the complexity of balancing around 25 or so armies, it's no surprise that sweeping power boosts are rare in the format. That said, this rework adds value by helping players stay in the game longer and improving recovery potential after a rough start. With this change, nearly every battle card becomes stronger in the hands of the Castelite Company player. To make the most of the Officer's Order, it's crucial to plan your usage strategically, but not hesitate about picking a card to use every round. Here are some of the best combinations I think might be really useful to you as well. The Officer's Order allows you to use the command on a battle tactic card, and instead of discarding the card, take it back into your hand. You may not use the card twice in the very same phase, however, but it's still a huge help. Scroll of Arcane Bolt. Declare. Pick a friendly hero to use this ability. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 inches of them, and then roll a dice. Effect. On a 2+, inflict D3 mortal damage on that enemy unit. Essentially, the Cities of Sigmar depend a lot on their Cavaliers and Great Cannon to do most of the heavy lifting. A 2+ roll is all but guaranteed to trigger the effect of Scroll of Arcane Bolt and help you with your damage output. This card can be particularly helpful if you go first, as you can then use it on the enemy's hero phase as well. Scroll of Arcane Bolt is indeed used in any hero phase, and I feel it can be huge help when it comes to adjusting your damage output and just boosting it even significantly. The next card that may be worth investing the Officer's Order in is Stand Guard. It comes down to Declare. Pick a friendly unit to use this ability. That unit has Strike First this turn. Having the Strike First advantage, especially against an army that does not have any Strike First models, can be tremendous, allowing you to deal damage to the opponent before they have a chance to respond. You can only use Stand Guard on the enemy hero phase, so you cannot pair it with the Regiment ability for Sigmar Charge, which allows your Cavaliers to strike first. But it's still a very good card to have, the Officer's Order with and use in battle. Go to Ground is the next card I want to discuss, and it can be another fantastic card to play and hold on to if you're facing an army that will shoot a lot during their turn. The card is basically used after an opponent has declared a shoot ability, and it comes down to the following play. Used by a friendly unit targeted by the shoot ability. Effect. Until the end of the phase, only unmodified hit rolls of 6 successfully hit for attacks that target that unit. However, the unit has Strike Last this turn. Quite frankly, this is a fantastic card, and it can be very useful if you want to mitigate damage against shooting units such as Caradron Overlords, or perhaps avoid a big salvo from any utility unit, be that the Warp Lightning Cannon, another Ironweld Great Cannon, an Iron Blaster, or anything that can pack a lot of punch with a single salvo. Next up, we have Steel Defense. The card is used as a reaction to an opponent's attack ability and allows you to temper with the opponent's rank characteristic. This card reads as follows. Used by a friendly unit targeted by the attack ability. Effect. Ignore the rank characteristic of attacks that target that unit in this phase. Steel defense is a tremendous way to save valuable units, and you may get to use it twice in the same turn, defending your most valuable units as you do. Cavaliers and the Marshal are usually the two units you want to protect the most, so your Officer's Order and Steel defense can come pretty handy in there. Having a ward 5+ is never a bad idea, and as such, Fight to the Last is a card that can come in handy. This is a reaction to an opponent's attack ability, and it plays out as follows. Used by a friendly unit targeted by that attack ability. Effect: that unit has ward 5+ in this phase. Having ward 5+ as something you're investing the Officer's Order into is definitely worth it. Surely, it will also depend on how much damage you're facing and whether you want to save a unit. I think saving your Cavaliers or otherwise mitigating any incoming damage is good thinking in general. It will depend on what you have in your hand and what the opponent is going to do. So far as good commands go, you may want to perhaps set aside Forward to Victory, which allows you to re-roll the charge roll, although I have some serious doubts about how often this card is going to be used twice in a battle. I think that by the time the opponents charge for the very first time, most of the fights throughout the next few rounds will be locked in, and you won't need to have that extra charge actually. Then you have Counter Charge, which is not a bad command, but I feel strongly again that it will come down to the card being used a single time, so maybe don't pair it with the Officer's Order at all. You also have Call for Reinforcements, and we can use the Cavaliers a few times, but in my experience, the Cavaliers are not going to be down by the end of the second battle round, especially when we have so many other commands that can help us keep them alive. Rise of Challenge, which allows you to heal your hero d6. Now, this is great because it's a combat phase ability and a non-fight ability, meaning that you can use it right before you get hit, and you can use it twice in the same round. Now, in my experience, putting your Cavalier Marshal up front is not a bad idea. He's tanky. You may want to also get the Glimmering Enhancement to reroll one hit roll, one wound roll, or one save roll made for your general. Of course, it's worth noting that the Cavalier Marshal has an enhancement called Flask of Lethetian Darkwater, which is used once per battle, and that will allow you to heal your general a d6 roll. So, you can try to bait your opponent into fronting a lot of damage into your general and then just upset them with the big heals you get. So, what do I think about this update? Honestly, I'm happy. It's not a massive power spike, but it's thoughtful improvement that adds flexibility and fun to the Cities of Sigmar's Spearhead. And I think that it was the sort of obvious thing for Games Workshop to do in trying to polish the Castelite Company without fiddling too much with the Spearhead itself. Balancing 25 or so armies is definitely no mean feat, but tweaks like this show that Games Workshop is listening to the community. Officer's Order feels so much more impactful now, and it gives me the freedom to make strategic plays that I can plan for well in advance, knowing that there are a few great cards in my hand or in my deck that I can rely on. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into Age of Sigmar or any of the other war games we cover here on our channel. Until next time, and happy wargaming!